Hi guys, this is my version of cream of tomato soup with coriander. The reason I decided to put it on YouTube is I've been asked by so many people for the recipe in the past, whenever I've made this for dinner parties, etc. And it is so easy to make. It just uses one magical ingredient, which I will show you. It makes a lovely, lovely soup. It's very economical, very cheap to make indeed, just a few ingredients. And I hope you do try it at home and see how lovely it is for yourselves. The one kitchen gadget you're going to need to make creamy tomato soup is a liquidizer. I'm using the Vitamix, as you can see in the picture here. They are more expensive, but for a reason. You can do a lot more with the Vitamix that you can't do with a normal liquidizing machine. To find out more, do search Vitamix on YouTube. Also, there's a very good YouTube channel called Raw Blend, where they actually make lots of different recipes using the Vitamix machines. If you haven't got a Vitamix machine, don't worry. As long as your liquidizer is powerful enough to do the job, you're going to be okay. So for this recipe, you're going to want either one large onion, or in this case 2 small onions, peeled and roughly chopped. 2 sticks of celery, roughly chopped into small pieces. 2 cloves of garlic, finely sliced, but do remember to cut off the hard ends as they're not very good for the digestion. 1 Knorr chicken stock cube, which will be dissolved in 450 ml of boiling water as per instructions. 2 tins of chunky chopped tomatoes, smoked paprika, and we'll be using about half a teaspoon of this, 2 or more tablespoons of granulated sugar to taste, a little bit of salt and pepper to taste, but remember, don't use too much salt because the stock cube already has it in, about a tablespoon of olive oil for cooking, a nice good handful of fresh coriander washed, fresh double cream optional, and finally the special ingredient that gives us a lovely creamy soup, 3 heaped tablespoons of long grain white rice. You can use any other rice, but for this recipe that's the one I like to use. Firstly, in a nice sized saucepan on a medium heat, we're going to add the oil, followed by the onions and the celery. Add the salt and pepper. And fry until the vegetables become soft. What you want to make sure is that you don't burn them. So have the heat on medium, keep stirring, keep your eye on them the whole time, and when they become soft, we're going to carry on. Okay, so the vegetables have been cooking for a little while now, and as you can see, they've become a lot softer. And I did turn the heat down just slightly. As I say, keep moving them around. Once they get to this stage, then we're going to add the garlic. And we're only going to fry this for a very, very short while, because the garlic, if it does overcook, it does taste rather bitter. So we only want to cook it just for a tiny little bit, like this. Just move it around, and then we're going to add our chicken stock. Now the chicken stock's in, that stops everything from burning. Just give that a good mix around. And next we're going to add the 2 tins of chopped tomatoes. There goes 1. And there goes 2. Give it a good mix. And then we're ready for our next ingredients. Okay, so as you can see, it's just starting to come up to a boil now. So this is the time that we're going to add our smoked paprika. Again, half a teaspoon of this. You don't add too much because it is rather strong. but it does give a lovely flavour to the soup. So the paprika's gone in, and now we add the magic ingredient, the rice. And that all goes in, give it a good stir, and what we're going to do now is cover it with a lid and let it bubble away on a nice simmer for a good 10 minutes or until the rice becomes soft. Okay, just a little tip here, every now and again do go back to the saucepan as it's really bubbling away now and give it a little stir just in case any rice or bits are stuck to the bottom, as we don't want them to burn and that will ruin the flavour of the overall soup. Okay, so give it a nice little stir, make sure nothing's sticking, and then recover and we'll wait for that rice to cook. Okay, so as you can see it's been cooking for quite some time now. I did give it longer than 10 minutes as I initially said for the rice because I did turn down the heat a little bit on the stove, and it did take longer. Depending on what rice you're using, different rice does take different amounts of time. The main thing is you want to cook it until the rice is nice and soft. It has to be soft. So at this stage we're almost done. We're going to add some sugar. Now this is a personal preference, but I'm going to add a little bit of sugar for sweetness. Don't add too much. You can always add more later on. And I'm going to give it a little taste just to make sure. Lovely. So that's nice and sweet, just as I like it. And I'm going to turn the heat off now and let it cool down just for a little bit, and then we go on to the next stage. So as you can see, it's starting to cool down now. And it's already taken on a nice sort of thickness about it, as you can see, but it's lots of lumps in there, all the rice, all the bits of vegetables. Not exactly cream of tomato soup yet, is it? But when it goes in the liquidizer, or in my case my Vitamix, and then we can add the cream and the coriander, and then you'll see a magical transformation. Okay, so next we're going to add our coriander, washed of course, very important. Okay, so this is the last ingredient going in now, and this is the optional extra. I like to add some, but we're putting in some fresh cream. Nice good glug of it there. As I say, you don't have to put it in, but it does make it more rich and luxurious, but it is totally up to you if you want to add cream or not. Okay, so we're just going to liquidise the ingredients now to make it the cream of tomato soup that we want. Okay, so there we are folks, our cream of tomato soup with coriander is all ready. Okay, so here we go. As you can see, it's very creamy, velvety, no lumps. To garnish, just a little bit of cream like that. And then just in the middle, one little sprig of the coriander. And there you have a wonderful soup that you can serve up at dinner parties, special occasions. And it goes lovely with some crusty tiger bread. So do try it. As I say, it's very easy to do, as you can see. Very, very inexpensive, just a few cheap ingredients. And you make a lovely, lovely soup. You can also add, instead of coriander, you can add basil. There's no reason why you can't add your own ingredients, maybe experiment and make different kinds of soup yourselves. But as I said, the magical ingredient is that rice, which gives it a lovely, lovely creaminess, as you can see. So do try it at home and enjoy. Thank you for watching.